Hey, I'm your host, Jen Wheeler, and this is the Healthy Her podcast. I'm a teacher, author, and foodie who went from being addicted to sugar, skipping meals, and struggling to get in control of my eating, to someone who is 10 kilos down, eats all the yummy foods without restriction, and is finally in control of my hunger. I'm obsessed with helping other health-conscious women ditch the confusion and overwhelm so they can cultivate healthy eating habits and truly thrive. The Healthy Her podcast was created to give you real talk about healthy eating, as well as easy, actionable tips that fit seamlessly into your busy lifestyle. I'm not just your host. Think of me as your healthy eating hype gal, your personal cheerleader as we chat all things healthy eating, weight loss, and mindset mastery, so you can become the healthiest, happiest version of you. So if you're ready to ditch the guilt, reclaim your confidence, and unlock the very best version of you, then you're in the right place. So let's get started. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Healthy Her podcast. Today, I'm going to give you a huge confidence boost because at some point in all of our lives, we've all hated on our bodies, felt self-conscious, not confident. So in today's podcast episode, I'm going to give you a much needed confidence boost. I'm going to tell you exactly how to feel more confident in your body without dieting. And I'm just going to give you some simple shifts that actually work. And this is just coming from someone that has learned a lot. And I want to share these things with you to make your journey easier, because it's really not a great place to be in where you just have no self-confidence, you don't like the body that you're in, and you just feel stuck. So by the end of today's episode, you are going to be feeling uber confident and you're going to start taking back your control and starting to feel good about the body that you are in. Now, I think it's really important that we start to talk about, confidence is a funny thing. We often think, and I was at this place too, that when we get to a certain goal, that's when we'll feel confident. And it applies to everything in life. It's not just weight loss and healthy eating, but we think, well, I'll feel confident when I lose that 10 kilos because I'll be able to wear the dress that I like. Or I'll feel more confident when I reach this milestone at work and then I'll want to go for the promotion. Feeling confident does not come from a goal. Feeling confident is something that you build, you develop, and you grow along the way on the journey to the thing that you want. All right. So it's a misconception that we think that once I hit my goal, then I'll just magically feel confident. And you won't. It's almost like something that you have to start to build and grow and earn and develop, and that self-trust and that inner knowing that you learn and you grow along the way. It doesn't actually come. You can ask anyone, like the women in my membership, and they're like, oh, great, I've hit my 20 kilo weight loss goal. But they'll tell you it wasn't in that moment that they just felt confident. It was all of those moments in the lead up to that helps them build and grow their confidence. So they do feel confident at their end goal. It is something that happens along the way. It is not something that occurs at the end point. And I really want to think about this because I was just thinking about back to when I was a little girl, and think about this, right? I remember when you're a young girl, you're sort of maybe 7, 8, 9. You didn't lack confidence. You had loads of it, an abundance of confidence. You would put on your princess dress, you put on your sparkly shoes, you put on your crown or your tiara, and often you would strut around the supermarket with your mum while she did the food shopping, very confident, not giving a care about what anyone is thinking, what anyone is saying. But what happens to us? What happens to that little girl inside of us that is quite confident to walk around the supermarket in a princess dress and a crown or tiara and not give zero shits about what other people think, to this woman that hates her body, doesn't like the skin that she's in, doesn't feel confident, feels like everyone's looking at her when she's at the beach in a bathing suit? How do we get from little girl to the women that we are today? And I was doing some reflecting on this, and I was just thinking, a lot of it is that we are born confident. We are born as confident young girls. It's just that over time, that confidence that we have and that we are born with gets slowly eroded and slowly chipped away. And I realize it gets chipped away often by the comments of others. So it's, what are you wearing that for? Should you eat that? Why did you do that to your hair? It's those questions from other people around us. And it could be someone from school, from work, a friend, a family member. And it's those small things that people say to us that slowly erode and slowly chip away of that abundance of confidence that we have as little girls. So that's what we want to get back to. We want to get back to the place where you feel good, you look good, you have confidence in yourself, and you do show up differently when you have confidence. You show up differently to strangers, you show up differently to your friends, to your family, to people that you meet. It literally shows on the outside when you are confident in yourself and you are confident in the person that you are. So we've lost it. Let's be honest. A lot of us have lost that self-confidence, that body confidence, and we want to get it back. But we can do it, but we do have to shift and make a small few changes in order to find it again. But like I said, keep in mind that little girl. Keep in mind that girl, 7, 8, 9, that would go to the supermarket. You know what? Might have been in your Spider-Man costume, Batman costume, whatever you're wearing to the supermarket. You went there, you owned it, or you went out with mismatching socks and an outfit that was just hideous and did not go together, and you just didn't care. You showed up in the world. That's what you wanted to wear. That's how you wanted to feel, and you just did it. So try, as we go through this podcast today, think about her. Think about her and think about getting back to her and that person that feels super, super confident in themselves and in their bodies. Same too with the body thing. When you're a little girl, you don't pick apart your body. You don't pull apart your thighs and your hair, and you stand in the mirror and you proudly own the body that you have. And like I said, it's that those little tiny things along the way that chip away at that self-confidence and, makes it hard for us as women to love ourselves and to show up as the confident, most happiest versions of ourselves. So we are going to rebuild your inner princess today. Your inner princess with the tiara, with the fancy dress, or the Spider-Man costume, whatever your thing was when you were a kid. We're going to rebuild that inner princess and confidence. We're going to take back your power. And remember, it's got nothing to do with you reaching that end goal. You can literally access this stuff now. You just have to start to access them so you can show up as this confident person. You don't have to wait. So if you're listening to this and you're going, oh yeah, I feel confident when I've lost the 10 kilos, or I'll feel confident when I can fit into the dress for the wedding, or I'll feel confident when, no, confident happens now. It starts today and it starts with you. It's not something that we're going to get later on down the track. It's starting right now. So we're going to stop the negative self-talk. We're going to start stepping out with that inner glow. So you can feel good, because when you feel good, you look good. And when you have that confidence, you look good on the outside and you feel good too. So here are my top tips of how you can feel more confident in your diet. How you can feel more confident in your body without dieting. And like I said, we're not waiting anymore. We are making these shifts now and making these changes now. So I've narrowed these down to my top 5 shifts you can make. And like I said, reminder, this starts now, today, right now, while you are listening to this podcast episode, not tomorrow, not in a week, not when you've lost 5 kilos. Building your inner self-confidence about your body starts now. And this is the first thing that you're going to do. Number 1, confidence in your body comes from knowing. This could not be more true. Confidence in your body comes from knowing. And here is the truth. You don't know your body. Okay? You've gotten so focused on what everyone else is eating, doing, moving, that you've forgotten how to tune in to what works for you, what makes you feel good, the type of exercise you enjoy. And I feel so much more confident now because I know my body. That confidence has come from the knowing. The confidence has come from me knowing how much I eat, what makes me feel good, what makes me feel crappy, foods that I eat that make me feel good, foods that make me feel tired. Like, I now have this very, very strong inner knowing and this inner connection with my body and the way that I eat and the way that I exercise. And that's where that confidence comes from, because I've stopped focusing on those outside things. I've stopped focusing on the days on the plate and, what someone else is doing, or the slim thighs workout on YouTube, or I've stopped doing all those things because I have that inner confidence and that inner knowing, and it shows on the outside because I know what I'm doing. So I feel confident. So confidence in yourself comes from knowing. And I see this shift immediately all the time with members in the Hype Gal membership. So they come in, they join, we do the 7-day diet audit so we can work out exactly what's happening, what they're eating, where their calories are coming from, what we need to tweak. And it's literally within those 7 days because that switch gets flicked inside them where the confidence starts to come out because they go, okay, I know now. I'm not guessing anymore. I'm not Googling. I'm not like searching how to lose fat fast. I know now. It's right there in front of me. I can see what's happening. I can see what I need to do. And you can see it. You can really, really see it in a person. They have this internal shift when they start to know what they're doing. And that's where that confidence comes from. You just lack confidence because you don't know your body. That's it. You don't know your body. You don't know what you're eating. You don't know what's happening. You think you do, but it's probably not the true reality of what you actually think is happening. And so that's why it's really, really important to know what you eat, how much you eat, where your calories are coming from, because that inner knowing gives you that self-confidence in your body. Number 2, upgrade your self-talk. The truth is our brains actually don't know the difference between what is reality and what isn't. So if you walk around all the time saying, oh my gosh, my thighs are so horrible and I hate my legs and like I'm fat and I just don't look good in anything and I hate my tuck shop arms, your brain is going to believe that. Whether that's true or not, whether that's a totally made up thing that you're just seeing yourself in the mirror and you don't look like that at all, your brain is going to believe it. So we need to upgrade our self-talk, okay? Even if you don't believe it, start switching it because what you will notice is the change will come after. If you start to change that self-talk first with yourself, that internal dialogue that you have, you will start to notice a flow-on effect and that will start to ripple through other areas of your life and you'll be like, oh, okay, so I don't feel so negative anymore. I'm actually starting to feel a bit more confident, a bit more positive about my body. And look, here's the truth. Here is the truth. It's okay to not love every part of your body. I'm definitely against and not someone that's into the whole, love your whole body and just love everything and our bodies are beautiful and we love. I think as a woman, it's a flat out normal response to go, you know what, really don't love my arms or my bum's not my favorite body part or I don't love my thighs or like the lower part of my stomach. I just hate that. I feel like that's a normal thing. It's a healthy response to not love every single part of your body. Obviously, it's a concern if you hate on every single part of your body all the time. That is obviously a concern. But if there's a part of your body that's just not your favorite, it's okay. I think it's completely normal. But that's something to keep in mind. If everything that you say to yourself about your body is constantly negative, that is what your brain is going to believe. Okay? And it's going to bring you down because negativity breeds negativity. So again, that's how you feel about your body. You're going to lack confidence when you walk into a room. You're not going to feel confident in your body. You're not going to feel confident in the way you dress. You're not going to feel confident in the way that you show up. So it's really important that we start to upgrade that self-talk that you have with yourself. And like I said, you don't have to go to the extremes. If you're saying, oh, I really hate my body and like I hate my thighs and that kind of thing, you don't then have to do like a full 360 and be like, oh, I love everything and I'm just beautiful and I love all parts of my body. You don't have to do that. You just have to change and shift slightly the way that you are talking. So instead of, I really hate my body right now and I wish I could lose some weight, how about I'm learning to take care of my body? Simple shift. Can you hear the difference? I'm going to say it again. So from I hate my body and I want to lose weight, I want to be a smaller size, all these things that we say to ourselves as women. How about I'm learning to take care of my body? Do you see how it just comes with a completely different energy? I'm learning to take care of my body. It's you taking back your power. It's you taking back your ownership. And you can feel it. You can feel it and I could feel it as I literally read out those words to you. You can feel the shift in the dialogue and in language that you're using about yourself. So it does come down to self-awareness. Pay attention. Pay attention to when this negative self-talk comes up. All right, whether it's before you get in the shower, after a shower, whether you're getting dressed in the morning and that inner mean girl starts jumping out and she's, oh, should you really wear that top because you've got big arms and they don't fit in there? Or should you really be wearing those pants without a baggy jumper over the top because you can see a bit of your tummy? Like, switch that. I'm learning to love my body. I'm learning to take care of my body. I'm learning to eat better. Okay, I'm learning to nourish my body. Like, I'm learning to love my body. All of those phrases have a completely different shift and a completely different vibration than saying, I don't like this and I hate this and I want to change this. So just change that and switch up that self-talk. Like I said, because your brain doesn't know the difference. All right, tip number 3, big one. Keep your promises to yourself. Keep your promises to yourself. It is the simple act of doing the things that you say that you are going to do. It is literally a fast track or a cheat code to your healthy eating and weight loss success and to build your inner self-confidence. Why? Because when you say, I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow morning, and you get up and you go to the gym tomorrow morning, it sends a message to your brain, and your brain goes, hey, we can trust this girl. She's going to do the things that she says that she's going to do. And it builds your self-confidence. Okay. You lack self-confidence because you've had multiple failures. You've failed at so many diets. You've failed at so many challenges. You've failed at so many plans. All the things you've tried, you've failed at them, or you've had some success and then failed, or eventually gained the weight back afterwards. That is why you lack self-confidence. So when you keep the promises to yourself, you start to build that. Like I mentioned in the example of our Healthy Eating Hype Gal members, it's how they start to feel confident, because they start to do the things that they say that they're going to do, and they build that self-confidence and they build that inner knowing and that inner trust with themselves. But it only comes when you do the things that you say you're going to do. And I know that from personal experience. I fought it for the longest time. We always have really good intentions for ourselves as women. It's, I'm going to do this, I'm going to work out, I'm going to eat more vegetables, I'm going to drink my water. But we struggle to take the good intention that we have for ourselves and actually turn it into action. And that's where so many of us struggle. And literally, it is a cheat code for success. Hand on heart, cheat code, fast track to you succeeding is to keep the promises that you say you are going to yourself. If you say you're going to drink your water, drink your water. If you say you're going to go for a walk after work, go for a walk after work. Even if you'd planned for an hour and you're absolutely smashed and exhausted and you can just do 20 minutes, go. Even if it's small, just do the thing, because it will literally start to rewire your internal confidence and you'll start to feel more confident, okay? Because think about it like a friend, a girlfriend or a friend. If you are going to catch up with someone and they are forever cancelling on you at the last minute, or they bail at the last minute because they've got an excuse as to why they can't catch up with you, do you have confidence in them? Do you trust them? Do you know that they're going to show up when they say they're going to show up? Not at all. And it's literally the same relationship that you have with yourself. Your self-confidence grows when you start to get those messages that you can do the things that you say that you're going to do. The things that you think are hard, the 5 a.m. gym workout. If you can do that thing, it's sending that message that, you know what, you can actually do these things. And this really cool thing happens is when you start to do the things that you say that you're going to do, they stack on top of each other. Okay? Because you get the first win and you're like, oh, okay, that wasn't as bad as what I thought it was, and I had a win. And then you have another win and you're like, okay. And these wins compile and they stack up on themselves. And these wins each time are actually building your self-confidence, they're building your knowing, and they're building your trust in your own body.
Jen, I honestly cannot thank you enough. Your podcast, The Healthy Her, has done so much for me. And for the first time in my whole life, I feel like I have a healthy relationship with food and exercise. I've always been a binge eater. Then I'd swing the other way and become really restrictive to punish myself. But now I've finally realised I can have everything just within reason. There was one episode that really changed everything for me when you shared about your son being in hospital and how the food you were eating made you feel. That was my aha moment. It made me realise how horrible my body feels when I'm not fueling it properly. In such a short time, you've helped me shift so much. I see food and my habits completely different now. I've already told so many people about your podcast and the impact it's had on me. So truly, thank you, Natalie.
Number 4 is how we're going to get your confidence back today and feeling amazing at the end of this episode. You need to make the internal shift first. And I have spoken about this one before, and I can honestly say it to be true with literally everything that I have done in my life, is that you have to make the internal shift first before the self-confidence and the results show up on the outside. So you have to believe, or you have to at least tell yourself, like I said, our brains don't know the difference between truth and reality. You have to believe that you are this vibrant, energetic, confident, vibrant, happy woman, looks good and feels good in her body before it's ever going to show up on the outside. You have to make that internal shift first. And it was the same for me. Like I've talked about this before about on the podcast, how I questioned about, should I start a podcast? You've all asked me for it. Jen, where's your podcast? When are you launching a podcast? You need a podcast. And I put it off for the longest time. I can honestly say I had to make that internal shift first, that, you know what? I'm a podcast host. I'm a podcast host that successfully helps busy women ditch dieting and learn to eat healthy for life and to have success. I had to make that internal shift first before I could actually show up as the Healthy Her podcast and Jen Wheeler on the podcast. Like I said, you didn't have to believe it. Even if you're sitting here going, you know what, Jen, but I don't feel that way. I feel like crap and I don't like myself and I wish I looked like this and yada, yada, yada. That's fine. You don't have to believe it yet. You just have to start to think that you can be that person. You have to see her in some future version of you. Okay? Because what happens is you make the internal shift first and then it starts to show on the outside. And I can tell you this to be true with all of the members inside our membership. They make that internal shift first, that yes, I can do this. Yes, I'm going to work on this. Yes, I can achieve this. Yes, I get to look good, feel good, have confidence, eat healthy, know how to eat, enjoy a burger, eat my chips. And then after that, when the internal shift has changed, it starts to show up on the outside. So you need to make that internal shift first before you'll ever start to notice any changes in yourself and in your self-confidence on the outside. Number 5, dress for you and no one else. Remember that little girl that was 8 or 9 years old that wore a princess dress down to the supermarket for the weekly grocery shop or headed out in the mismatching socks and just didn't care less about what anyone thought of her? You need to dress for you and no one else. And here's the truth, and this is something I found out myself as a woman. Not everyone looks good in everything, and that is me included. I remember, what were they called? They were like a dress, and I think they're called like a bodycon dress. So they're a very tight fitting dress. They're generally quite short. They can be long, but they're very snug, like they hug to every part of your body. And I remember the longest time, like seeing women in these dresses thinking, yeah, I'll pull that off one day. And I still can't pull one off. I've tried, put them on for whatever reason, my body shape, I don't know. They just don't suit me. And I've started to realize and start to learn that not everyone looks good in everything. And that's okay. I've learnt now how to dress for my body. I've learnt what looks good on me. And I've learnt to stay away from things that I know don't look good on me. And this is where, again, it's that inner knowing about myself, knowing what I look good in, knowing what I look terrible in, knowing that those bodycon dresses just do nothing for me at all. Another one too I found for myself personally is like a matching tracksuit set where the top and the bottom are matching. But I wear them around, but I don't know how people wear them out and about to get a coffee or because I just look like I'm in my pajamas. Like I just feel like it just literally does not suit me at all. Same often too with those matching sets, like the long sleeve and like they look like, for me, I look like I'm wearing my pajamas. Whereas I see other women in them and I'm like, oh my gosh, you look like a goddess. Like you look so stylish and put together. Like why can't I pull that off? But again, it's that self-confidence, that inner knowing with myself. I've just learned that doesn't look good on me. And so I focus on dressing for myself and focusing on dressing for the things that actually look good on me. Because when you do that, you show up with confidence because you feel confident in what you're wearing. You're not trying to wear something that you know looks terrible on you. You start to learn, hey, you know what? This looks good on me and this doesn't. So like I said, now I go shopping and I will literally just look at things and go, yeah, that's nice, but I know that it doesn't look good on me, so I'm not going to buy it. Inner knowing, it's that inner knowing, and how you dress matters. I know that I'm so guilty of this. I am so guilty of getting up, going to the gym. I'm really freaking busy. And so I go, oh, I'll just stay in activewear. And then I get into my study and I'm working in my office. And then like it's emails. And then before I know it, it's 2:00 and I'm still sitting there in my activewear. And I've definitely got into bouts of where this became a pattern and a habit. And I would make a significant effort to come home from the gym, shower and put some clothes on. And I can tell you, I show up as a different person when I'm dressed well. When I am dressed well and when I show up, I show up differently. So how you dress matters. And look, you know what? It doesn't have to be something you don't need expensive clothes, and you can get a really nice put together outfit from Target, from Kmart, from Best and Less, from all of the cheap places and look very stylish, casual, comfortable. You can feel good. You can feel you can feel put together and you don't need to spend a fortune on those things. You can dress for you and for no one else. And like I said, when you start to dress in a way that you're dressing for your body and what makes you feel good, you show up in a more confident way, because it's that inner knowing. It's that knowing that, you know what, I know my body and I'm not going to try and wear something that doesn't suit me. I'm going to dress in a way that I feel good, that makes me look good, in things that I feel comfortable in. That's another one too, where you try and wear something and you're like, I just don't, even though I know you know what I'm talking about. You know, when you wear something or you go out for an evening or whatever and you've put something on and you're like, it fits you, as in like it's the right size and it physically fits you, but it just doesn't feel right. I know you know what I'm talking about. And you just spend the whole evening wiggling around in your chair and you're like, you just don't feel right. Whereas when you have the right outfit and confidence, is you go out and you feel really good because you're comfortable and you feel right in the outfit you are wearing. So how you show up really matters. This is your reminder. If you are getting up every day and just staying in your gym clothes or your active wear, or just putting t-shirts and like jumpers and sweats and all that stuff, get dressed, go and put some clothes on. Even if it's jeans and a nice t-shirt, put some nice jewelry on. Like a really simple outfit can make you show up so much differently in your day-to-day life. And like I said, people pick up on that because it's an energy. People are like, you know what? She's there. She's got a jeans and a t-shirt. She's done her hair. She's got some nice jewelry on. She takes care of herself. And that's where that self-confidence comes, because it's an energy and people pick up on it. And when you start to have that inner knowing with yourself, it starts to have that follow-on effect that people start to notice your energy as well. And finally, my final thing that I want to talk about today is please stop waiting to feel confident in your body. It comes through those daily actions, all right? Going for a walk, drinking your water. It comes through those daily actions where you start to take care of yourself instead of just going, oh, no, I'll do it later. Or I literally feel like a bag of crap, but I'm not going to go for a walk, or I'm not going to make a healthy meal because I'm too tired or I can't be bothered. It's when you start showing up better for yourself, okay, that's where you start to feel more confident. You don't wait for it. It's not coming later. Like I said at the beginning of this podcast, it's not coming later. It's not coming after you've reached a level at work. It's not coming when you've hit a goal weight. It's not coming from a specific goal. It is something that you learn and you build and you take control of, and that's how you become more confident over time. And here's the truth. Confidence is just self-trust. That's what it is. Confidence is just self-trust. And I know often we think that if we see someone else that's dressed well or is being confident, you know, that sometimes women can turn towards them negatively. And it's not that. It's just that she knows herself. That's it. When you see a woman like that, she just knows herself. She has self-trust. She knows how to dress. She knows what to eat. She just feels good about herself, and she has that inner knowing and a strong inner trust and inner relationship with herself, okay? Problem is for us women is that we have just gotten so busy. Our lives are so hectic and we are juggling so many things that we've just become disconnected with that inside. With that little girl, we have just become very disconnected with her. And so the problem with that is that because we're so disconnected, we turn to outside sources. So we look at other things. So what's she eating? How's she moving? What exercise is she doing? What's her day on a plate look like? So we need to turn the dial and start turning inward to us instead of focusing on those outside sources. And that's how you build your confidence, and that's how you build your self-trust and your inner knowing. So I hope that this podcast has given you a few things, even if it's just a couple, even if it's like maybe getting out of track pants and sweats and activewear, like getting changed and dressing, or if it's making that internal shift first. I hope that there's a couple of things that you are going to take and start to implement straight away so that you can start to feel more confident, because you don't have to walk around hating yourself and hating your body and not liking the skin that you're in. You can start to take steps today to feel more confident, to build your self-trust, and so that you can just start to show up differently in this world for yourself and also for those around you. Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast episode of The Healthy Her. If you love this podcast episode, don't forget to give it 5 stars or an amazing review. I would be so grateful, and I'll see you all in our next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in to another empowering episode of the Healthy Her podcast. If you enjoyed today's chat and found it helpful, hitting that follow or subscribe button would be amazing, because your support means the world to me. Come connect with me on Instagram @theactivebod for your daily dose of inspiration and for loads of new easy meal ideas. Take care and keep thriving. See you next week.